All right, guys, this is my theorist, Edward Thorndike. As you can see right there, wait, that's not him. Okay, that's him right there. That is Edward Lee Thorndike. Who is he? I said his name. He was born August 31st, 1874 in Williamsburg, Massachusetts. He died at the age of 74 in 1949. He is known as the father or founder of modern-day educational psychology. Dr. Thorndike was an influential figure and author of a few different theories in educational psychology. The one that he is best known for is what he called the law of effect. In his college years, he was very curious of how animals learned and subsequently how humans learned. So in 1889, he initiated some experiments on animals in learning boxes that he made. These animals were cats that he put in these puzzle boxes, and he sought to observe the development of learned behavior in non-human subjects that he could later generalize to humans. Thorndike's initial aim was to show that the anecdotal achievements of cats could be replicated in controlled, standardized circumstances. Next, I'm going to share with you this 2-minute video explaining how Thorndike conducted his experiment.
But how is a new skill learned? That was a question which began to fascinate Thorndike. To answer it, he built some ingenious puzzle boxes from which cats could only escape by operating latches.
And in you go.
The cat appears to be very clever in engineering its escape, solving the problem with a deftly placed paw and a push of its nose. But Thorndike didn't believe that an animal, even a clever cat, understands the consequences of its behavior. When he placed a cat in the puzzle box for the first time, Thorndike was unable to see any evidence of flashes of insight. The successful actions appeared first by chance. He proved that the apparent cleverness arose by trial and error, and used graphs to measure the rate of learning. A well-practiced cat quickly recalls the actions that help it escape to its reward of food. If an action brings a reward, Thorndike believed that that action becomes stamped into the mind. In his thesis, he explained further his ideas about learning, that behavior changes because of its consequences. He called this his law of effect, which explained how even wild creatures develop new habits.
So after watching the video, you can see that the law of effect developed by Thorndike suggested that the response closely followed by the satisfaction will become firmly attached to the situation and therefore more likely to reoccur when the situation is repeated. The opposite would be if the situation is followed by discomfort, the connections to the situation will become weaker and the behavior of the response is less likely to occur when the situation is repeated. I'll use the following example to better explain. Imagine that you arrive early to work one day by accident. Your boss notices and praises your diligence. The praise makes you feel good, so it reinforces the behavior. You start showing up for work a little bit early each day to keep receiving your boss's appreciation. Because a pleasing consequence followed the behavior, the action became more likely to be repeated in the future. Thorndike's research on the laws of learning played an important role in the development of behavioral psychology and continues to exert influence to this day. Thorndike's discoveries also influenced other psychologists, like B.F. Skinner, who based his theory of apparent conditioning on the law of effect. Many of Thorndike's behavioral principles remain in use today. In therapeutic settings, psychologists and other mental health professionals often use reinforcement to encourage positive behaviors and discourage undesirable ones. However, Thorndike's theory has its own limitations. The law of effect says that learning takes place properly when it results in satisfaction and the learner derives pleasure out of it. On the other hand, if the learner faces failure or gets dissatisfaction, the progress of the path of learning is hampered. For example, when a child solves questions correctly, he feels encouraged to do more, but if he fails repeatedly, he is unwilling to make subsequent attempts. It is also known that repeated failure can decrease learning capabilities in the test subject. As for application for teachers, the teacher can apply it in the classroom situation by introducing the principles of pleasure and pain, or reward and punishment. When the student does something wrong and he is punished for it, he will not do that work again because punishment gives him pain. On the other hand, if the student is rewarded for his success or any good work, it gives him pleasure and he wants to repeat the work, making the behavior permanent. And that pretty much covers it for my video. Hope you learned something new. Here are my references and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.